If you collaborate with somebody else while using Pro Tools, you may have run across the problem where somebody doesn't know the difference between a session file and a project folder. A session file, or a PTX extension, doesn't contain any of our audio files. Meanwhile, our project folder should include all of those audio files in our audio file folder. Today we're going to take a look at how to best organize our Pro Tools sessions to make sure that when we send somebody a file, they get all of the supporting files they need. That way they don't end up with a bunch of blank gray boxes in our regions that can't play. We're also going to take a look at how we could consolidate each of our tracks so that we could export out of Pro Tools and use our files in another session in a different DAW, such as Logic, Ableton Live, Digital Performer, or any other DAW on the market. Let's jump right in and see how we could get started. You can see I have a session here called Missing Files in Pro Tools. If I open up our PTX file, you're going to see that there are certain tracks that have blank regions. Right now, Pro Tools is showing a Missing Files dialog and wants to try to find these files. The problem is when the person sent this over, they only included certain audio files in their project. Others were just referencing audio files on their hard drive. They didn't include those. Let's take a look at where they should be stored. Here in my audio files folder, we see that there are only 5 regions. However, in our PTX file, it was trying to reference multiple regions that aren't located here. Let's take a look at what this person may have done incorrectly. If I open up our project folder called Adding Files in Pro Tools, you will see that it contains our PTX file, and it also contains a folder called Audio Files. Currently, there's nothing located in this Audio Files folder. If I go to File, and then Import, and then Audio, I could import audio into my Pro Tools session. Let's import 2 WAV files called Snare Bottom. We're going to do this by hitting Add. Let's hit Done to import the files and add them to a new track. You can see that both of these files are currently present in Pro Tools, and in our Clips region, they're also present. However, when I go back to my Audio Files folder, neither of these audio files are located there. Let's try this again. We're going to go up to File, we're going to go to Import, Audio, and this time I'm going to import 2 TOM files. This time, instead of hitting Add, I'm going to hit Copy. I hit Done, and you can instantly see that it's asking us to find a destination folder to copy these files to. This ensures that we're adding these files to our audio files folder. And they appear just like they did before. However, this time when we go to our audio files folder, we can see that they were copied into that folder. Let's do this a different way. I'm going to take 3 different acoustic guitar audio files and drag them into my project. I could just drag them and drop them. You'll see it takes a few seconds to copy them. It adds them to our clip bar, but more importantly, when we go over to our audio files folder, you can see that the 3 of them were copied into our audio files folder. Let's see what we have to do to make sure that regions are properly sent to people when we want to share a PTX file and audio file folders. If I decide that I want to highlight my vocal regions and export them, watch what happens. By hitting Shift-Command-K, I could export my selected regions. Here's a list of all the audio files that we just exported. This is quite extensive and is obviously not something we want to send to somebody. So let's take a look at how to do this in a more organized way. We select all the tracks, we go to Edit, and we go to Consolidate Clip. Pro Tools will process this to make them into one larger clip, and now by hitting Shift-Command-K we could export them once again. Let's take a look at the difference. Now you can see we have an easy to find, organized list of all of our vocals. The great thing about this is that we could also drag them right to the start of any project and know that they're all going to line up together. If I go to the top right, I could go to Select and select all of my unused clips. By doing this, I can now delete the clips by hitting Clear. This will remove all of the clips that are not being used in my session. By doing this, when I share my session with somebody, I can make sure that I have a very clean session with only the clips that are being used. What if we don't want to consolidate our clips, but we do want these individual clips? We're going to go to File and Save Copy In. Make sure you go to Save Copy In. Once we do this, we could select what sample rate we want. We could select our bit depth. And most importantly, we select the items to copy. Make sure you select audio files. By doing this, we'll copy all of our audio files to the audio file folder. And now you can see we have a list of all the supporting audio files that we'll need to open our PTX file. So now we have a copy of our entire Pro Tools session folder. It includes all of our supporting audio files, and it includes our PTX. So how do I send this to somebody? Well, by using Control-click or right-clicking, we're able to compress our entire folder. This will include our PTX file and everything else we need to support that file.